We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport. Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We've got a absolutely packed show for you guys today. We've got Forestier showing us all about saddle fit, and then the one and only Cornelia Fletcher is going to be in the studio to tell us all about the awesome Daytona Beach and her performance at TerraNova. So we will be right back and get started.
Hold on.
Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. John, we are in the Jump for Joy studios, and it is our 23rd episode in our 5th year. We have a great show. The great Cornelia Fletcher is going to be on with us.
I know, that's pretty awesome.
She's exciting. She's a new mother, and she just won the 4-star long at TerraNova on Daytona Beach 8.
8. It's important
Yeah.
to have the last 7 realize they are not 8.
I'm not quite sure how we come up with numbers, but yeah.
Well, I think I had Lion King 2.
Did you?
Because it was the second one named that in the FEI.
And you're John Holling 4.
No, I'm 1.
Are you 1?
The one and only. The one and only. Yeah, no, Cornelia is going to be here. That's awesome. And she is bringing Sparrow.
Sparrow's coming.
And Sparrow's babysitter, Jacob.
Yeah, well, baby daddy.
Yes. Yes, he's going to
Baby
be
dad.
officially babysitting.
He is they're both enjoying parenthood, which is great.
Yep.
And, dealing with all children things that happen. But there's a list out.
Yeah, so you got to fill me in on all this because I have been
So
out of the country.
the USEA, the U.S. Equestrian, announces the 2025 Eventing Pathway Program lists. This was announced, I believe today, because I saw the list, so I pulled it out. The following athlete-horse combinations listed in alphabetical order.
Easy for you to say.
There we go. So we have 3 on the elite list.
Okay.
You want to try to guess one?
I'm pretty sure I know them because I'm on that committee, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, good for you. So you can do all. Get all 3.
I can't remember anything, so go. I shouldn't have said that.
Will Coleman,
Yeah,
off the record.
yeah,
Boyd Martin, Fetterman B,
yeah.
and Caroline Pikachu.
Pamuchu. I love that you are actually the one who taught me how to say that, and you can't say it.
Pamuchu. I know, but I think I might have taught you how to say it wrong.
No, then I asked her, and she said Pamuchu, like Pikachu.
Like Pikachu, Pamuchu.
Right.
Caroline, you made the list, and she's about to have her baby.
Yeah, that's like
That's amazing.
everybody's having babies.
I know. So congratulations to those 3, and she was named on HSH Blake.
That's such a cool horse.
So we have the Eventing Pre-Elite program. That is James Alliston, Jenny Brannigan, Hallie Kuhn, and Boyd Martin.
Yep.
Eventing
And they don't name horses on that one?
They do, but Karma for James, FEI Lifestyle for Jenny.
I think it's FE. There's no I.
FE.
Right.
What did I say? FI?
FEI.
Sorry. I did not say FEI.
You did. Well,
Let's go back. Rewind it.
Yep. See, I told you.
FE Lifestyle. Might have done that. Hallie Kuhn, Cute Girl.
Yeah.
And Boyd Martin on Commando 3. Sort of like you are today.
That's right. TMI.
Let's go with the Eventing Development Program. What's wrong with you?
You're absolutely killing me. Go ahead.
Jenny Carras on Summersby. Julie Wolfert on SSH Playboy. Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Got it, Commando
correct.
Man?
That's right.
All right. The following are on the Eventing Development athlete program list, and that's Mia Farley on Phelps, Cornelia Fletcher.
Boom.
Whoa,
Happy to ask
Daytona
her all
Beach
about
8.
that.
Alyssa Phillips on Oscar.
Yep.
And then the final list is the Eventing Development 25 program. So I assume that's 25 and under. Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
We have Alexandra Baugh,
Yep.
Molly Duda, Olivia Dutton,
Yep.
Cosby Green,
Yep.
Lizzie Holf, Meg Pellegrini,
Right.
Cassie Sanger,
Awesome.
Madison Timpkin,
Yep.
and Elsa Warble. It's funny because Elsa Warble, everybody kept on seeing her name at TerraNova and calling out Elisa.
Oh, really? Poor
I'm like,
Elisa. People call
poor
her
Elisa. She
Alyssa.
can't get, it's Elsa Warble, and poor Elsa was getting called Elisa.
That's so funny.
Proper Elisa.
Right.
So we need to just start using ELSA.
And then people get it right.
Get it right for Elisa.
I always get it Elisa unless I've been around an Alyssa recently, and then I'll bust it out, and she just gives me the look.
Well, the
like,
other
you
ones are
joking?
Mia and Maya.
Yeah.
Those get hard. But congratulations to everybody on the list.
That's exciting. This is such a fun time of year because all those lists come out.
It is. And the USEA convention's coming up.
Yep. I'm excited, so I'm going, right? And I actually only have, I think, 2 committees I have to be there for, 3 meetings.
You're going to go to a hockey game.
I'm going to watch the Tampa Bay Lightning play on Saturday, and then Sunday I'm sticking around because the Green Bay Packers are playing the Seattle Seahawks.
Ooh.
So it's like sports weekend for me.
Yeah, Packers aren't doing that bad, are they?
They're doing fine. They played Detroit well. They lost to Briggs's Detroit Lions. I guess really your dad's Detroit Lions, Andy's, but I'm assuming you're a fan? Yeah. Okay. The Lions look legit. I know this is not a football podcast, so don't worry. We won't go into this too long. So, but yeah, the Packers are right there. They look good.
It's become more of a football podcast because of Taylor Swift.
Yes, I think everything is.
I mean, Kansas City just won.
The Kansas City Swifts.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
I mean, have you seen her statistics? Not to go off topic. She brought in
she's
$7 billion to the economy.
Right.
In the places total, in the places that she's played. Incredible.
Yeah.
And she's got a cool story. And people kind of go, Taylor Swift. But if you watch her documentary, she's a smart girl.
Oh, she's amazing. I mean, yeah, for sure. I like to give people a hard
the
time.
The Taylor Swift of eventing.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Is.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
It's you. When's your tour?
Right now. I've been all over the world this week.
Being announced.
Yes.
So the other thing that's come out that we need to talk about is the FEI, this new FEI list for welfare for horses.
Okay.
They've expanded a little bit. I find it interesting. There's some things on here that I don't think they've quite hammered out yet. The first one is an online welfare reporting tool. It's a new welfare hub that has been launched, and it centralizes tools for injury tracking, life cycle data, and reporting horse welfare concerns. Stakeholders, including riders, officials, and fans, can now confidentially report welfare issues online.
I mean, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very good.
Okay, that's good.
I'm not worried about that one.
We're pro-reporting.
Optional spurs for all disciplines, which I think they took away the spur option for dressage. I mean, the spur requirement for dressage for eventing a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. I remember always thinking it was weird that it was required.
Yeah, so it's gone for all disciplines. I guess there was some requirement for dressage only. Noseband measurement, we all know this new
I want to see it. I feel like I've seen it, but I have a terrible memory, and I want to see it in person.
I think they had it. Did they have it at TerraNova?
No, they had a video.
A video of it. So yeah, I'm interested to see it. I'm sure it works fine. I think we do need to watch the tightness of nosebands.
Yeah,
So.
I'll tell you what I used to when I was younger. Like if one was difficult in this month, the first thing I do would always tighten the noseband.
But usually it was the opposite effect.
Yeah, and what I've discovered is if I loosen the noseband, they're way better.
It's funny what we learned. Improved TAC and equipment guidelines, which we really need.
Yeah.
It's a dedicated TAC app is being refined
Good.
to provide
It's a life quest.
up-to-date and on approved bits and other equipment. Reviews are planned annually to ensure transparency and accessibility for riders and teams. I think that's really important.
Yep.
The transparent transparency is really important, along with the accessibility for us to know what they are.
Have you been drinking?
No, I've had your
Should
dip.
you be drinking?
No.
Okay. You're doing a great job.
Thanks. Let's go to number 6, or number 5, enhanced rules on fitness to compete.
Okay.
So this one we kind of debated a little bit coming over.
Right.
Because we were watching, what was the game? Polo cross. And when they do the horse inspection, they don't only look at the legs, they look at the body of the horse and they look at their back and they do an inspection. We were watching and I was like,
put their hands on the back and everything? Interesting.
I said, why are they inspecting the back? So here's this one. Veterinary delegates will soon have expanded authority to check any part of the horse's body during competitions, not just legs, to ensure horses are fit and sound for sport. Workshops in 2025 will address these updates in detail. So, Briggs says, that's probably not a bad idea. And I said, well, okay, so if they look at the horse's back and say the horse palpates and sore.
Right.
So I guess the workshop's going to be important because a lot of horses get sore backs and it's important to get them worked out. But could elimination happen if they feel your horse's back is too sore?
I mean, I would assume, otherwise why would they be checking it?
Right.
If they don't have the authority
so
to
I
do
think
something.
we need more details on this.
Yeah, find out what the consequences.
Because I do know this on the legs, you're not, vets, like in the jog, when you have a jog, the vet's not allowed to flex the legs.
Correct.
In the veterinary hold box.
Correct.
They can only examine, look at, lift up, I think hoof test.
Yeah, I think the hoof test, but they can't palpate.
They can't can they palpate?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure.
Feels like they do
reasonably confident.
palpate, but we'll go with that. Okay, and then this one's kind of interesting, and I don't know how to think about it. I mean, I understand where they're trying to go. Out of competition testing.
For horses? Interesting.
Yeah.
So why?
So it says a robust testing program aims to enhance integrity and ensure health issues aren't masked outside of competition settings. Details were presented at assembly for implementation across all disciplines. I don't know how that would work.
Well, I mean, if they're talking about covering things up so that, and I'm sure that's what they're saying, covering stuff up so that you can't keep training a horse that's obviously lame, that probably is a good idea. But if it's
so they're going to start
therapeutic-
coming in and telling us.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. So I think here's the deal. I'd be interested to know what the European guys feel about it, because as Americans, we're pretty anti anything that's not in sport, in the moment, in competition. We don't want people messing with us. And I wonder, I'll be interested to hear how the Europeans feel about it, because they sometimes are a little more tolerant of that stuff. But I agree, when it's on your own turf. But again, we don't want anybody abusing anywhere, right? And so if you're got a horse that's super lame and you're drugging it so you can compete it and train on it so you can compete it, that's not great.
Well, I think we've opened it up for abuse of horse outside the scope of competitions for the USEF. It went in effect December 1st. The FEI.
That's right, that happened. Happy anniversary. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great.
And then we've had the update on Charlotte Desjardins.
Yep, so she got a year?
She got a year. My question was
it retroactive?
Yes. So
I don't know.
I
wondered that too. I don't know. Okay. I would think it would be.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. Well, good question. The other thing, and I know we really haven't touched base on, is there was other abuse case that everybody knows about, Andrew McConnon.
Yeah.
What's interesting about that, and Sally Spicker does a really good job investigating. I really like reading her articles.
Right.
Good job, Sally.
Yeah. Shout out.
And I hope this is your article, and I gave you credit for that. He's not suspended. There's no suspension for the FEI.
Well, they haven't finished the investigation.
Right. That's what they're saying.
So you're saying if they finished the investigation, decided to suspend, would they then count the time now?
Well, I don't know, because Charlotte was suspended immediately.
Right.
During the investigation.
Okay.
So that's what the question is here, is why is this different? And I don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer either.
Nobody knows the answer. USEF doesn't know the answer. USEA doesn't know the answer. Everybody's waiting for the outcome. And like I said, this is all under investigation. I think what's happening now is the questioning of continuity in what they're doing.
Right, consistency.
Right.
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 If she was provisionally suspended, why isn't
And she did herself remove herself from
Correct.
the Olympics and did stuff that didn't have to happen.
Yeah.
So all that being said, this is the FEI coming out, and I think there will be some work that needs to be done. I think the biggest thing is being able to report welfare issues, which is very important.
Right.
You know, our sport is, all of our equine sports are dependent on our ability to make sure our horses are taken care of. And I think sometimes out of the scope of competitions, if there's welfare issues going on with horses, I think they should be reported.
Yes,
So-
absolutely. 100%.
So there you go. What do you have to say?
No, I mean, I think I said it all.
Okay.
I think the problem is you always worry. The FEI has such a big job
Yeah.
worldwide, and that's where I think stuff sometimes goes sideways.
Sure.
And it's like, I personally believe it's always with the best of intentions, but sometimes the implementation isn't great, and so you hear all these big ideas, and you're like, yeah, that's a great idea, and then you just hope it works.
Well, the details are where you got to look
Right,
at.
that's what
Devil's in
matters.
the details, right? So it's interesting. I think there's some good guidelines there. I think there's some platforms to go on. I think we both, at least I do, and I know you do, try to push out there on social media that we try to stay in our lanes together and not start attacking and eating from within.
Right.
And if we can do that, I think we're going to be way better off. And, you know, if you have an opinion, that's great. Sometimes you don't have to put it on social media.
Yeah, and we talked about that last time.
Yeah.
I think it's good to put stuff out there. You just have to be aware of what the
Cognizant of
consequences.
what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
So, great show.
Yes, what we should do actually is check in with Forestier.
Yeah, let's
So-
do that.
Hippo Rechard from Forestier came out. He taught me so much about how saddles fit, why they fit. Absolutely, it was a bit about Forestier, but also just general saddle fit stuff, and showed the way different saddles fit, if they're too high behind, if they're too high in front, if they can pinch. It was really cool, and I got to ride a bit and kind of feel the differences. And it's interesting, and I talk about it a little bit, how when you are getting fit for a saddle or having a saddle fit, they're trying to make it right. Hippo, this is really cool because he made the saddle wrong and then made it wrong
Right.
the other way.
Oh, and then
made it
balanced it
right.
out.
And I was like, whoa, you can feel a huge difference.
Right, right.
That's the way you should be showing saddles. It was pretty cool. So let's go check it out.
Okay.
And then we'll be back with Cornelia.
That's great.
Awesome. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. And today we're really excited because we are joined by Hippo Rechard
Hello.
from Forestier.
everybody.
And we're going to go through some of your saddles and common things that you have happening.
So last time we saw each other, we talked about the brand in general and the product. Today I wanted to go a bit more into the fitting of it. When we talk about fitting, we usually talk about how it fits the horse, and people on the phone say sometimes, I want it to fit my horse, me it doesn't matter, and
Right.
today I want to prove that it matters. So for the rider, you know, we talk about the seat size, we're able to modify anything. That's not only us, obviously a lot of saddle makers can do that, modifying the forwardness of the flap, the seat, all that. But actually one thing that we never talk about that is super important is the balance of the saddle.
Right.
When I say this, again, when people call me, it happens that they say, oh, my leg is too forward, so I need to have big block, whether it's in dressage or in show jumping. And actually this problem especially usually comes from the balance.
Right.
If the hip is in the wrong position, obviously your leg is going to be in the wrong position, and it will impact your horse. So
Okay.
it does matter for the fit of the horse as well.
Okay. And so I've definitely felt that with saddles over the years. And so, like, if the balance is wrong, that's where sometimes you feel like you're in the back, like falling behind the motion all the time.
We're going to see that riding,
Okay.
obviously.
Yeah.
But yes, if the saddle is too uphill, your leg is going to go forward.
Okay.
If the balance is too downhill, your leg is going to go back.
Right.
And you're going to try and hold on to whatever comes in front of you, which is not a good idea.
No. Well, and that's where I obviously love having you guys, because you can come out and you make sure the saddle fits. And by fit, it's not just, I think what you're saying is it's not just how tight it is on the wither, how close it
Exactly.
is to the back, but it's the balance back to front. too.
Yeah, that's something we really focus on. But yeah, let's go riding and see how we can modify it.
All right, let's do it.
So what we're looking at today is a saddle that was fitted for this horse, and obviously we know John, this is his saddle, so that fits him quite well balance-wise. So what we can see, and thank you John for being a good rider, is that the shoulder, the hips and the heels are on a straight line, on perpendicular to the floor. So that means that he's in his balance. Imagine yourself walking, you want to be straight when you're walking. If you're not straight, if somebody pushes you, you can fall. So this right balance is going to bring a lot of stability to the rider. So is it on the show jumping, the same as on the cross country. John, have you been doing this all your life, or?
Yeah, most of it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Good boy.
Very nice.
All right.
So what interests us today is actually to show the wrong balance. So let's
do
have
that.
fun.
All right.
To show a saddle a bit too uphill, we are gonna put these shims in. These are only 10 millimeters, so in America you would say half an inch. So it's really, really thin, but you'll see the difference it makes in the riding. It's, yeah, quite huge. So obviously we know it's gonna be a wrong fitting. We make it for it. You should feel the difference already.
Yeah, absolutely. Instantly my legs out in front.
Yeah. So yeah, we raised it quite a lot. 15 millimeters is quite a lot, and you can see that you're sitting more in the back in your hips, and so is your leg. So you know when I was talking about a straight line,
yep.
Here we have your shoulders that will go in front to compensate, your hips in the back, and your leg forward. But let's see it in motion. Right, so same saddle, 10 millimeters difference, so half an inch difference in the panel, so in the balance, and we can really see that the leg is too forward. Without pushing it, even the soil of the feet are going down, the heels are too down, and so it means that we are against the movement of the horse. So yeah, that's really what we work on. Same saddle, but different positioning.
And you can really feel like I'm sitting in a completely different part of the seat now.
Exactly. I like to call it the sofa position. Sofa is comfy, but it's not good for sport.
Right.
Especially in the transitions, you can feel that you fall down.
Yeah.
As soon as there is a change of rhythm.
Yeah, and then he wants to invert a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I hope everybody sees this on camera, but if at home you have that position of that kind of problems of your leg going too forward, you can either check your own saddle and try and maybe change the paneling, or obviously change saddle.
Right. And 10 millimeters isn't much, is it?
It doesn't look like much, but in a saddle it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, yeah.
Absolutely.
Super. So this is for a saddle that is too uphill, okay? I'd say 90% of the time that's what we get, because everybody tries to clear the wither, which is a good thing. Please
Yep.
clear the wither of your horses. But by doing so, sometimes we lack support in the back of the saddle. Okay? Both is important for the rider and the horse. Let's do the opposite.
Okay.
So we're going to do the same thing, but just we're going to do it in the back. So this is what we had in the front just earlier, 10 millimeters. We're going to go for 10 millimeters, half an inch at the back, okay? And that's the other type of wrong balance that we're going to see today. So we just passed from 10 millimeters uphill to 10 millimeters downhill. So that's a 20-meter difference, so don't hate me yet.
Yeah, you can feel the difference. Big time.
Okay. So the idea of this position when it's too downhill is that you're going to have your shoulders obviously getting thrown forward and your leg going backward. Earlier we could see your shoulders going forward because you were compensating your hips going back. Here you can't compensate anything, you're just being thrown forward.
Right.
Okay, let's see it in motion. So as we can see, if we think of our line, shoulders, hips and heels, we can see that here the shoulders are too forward, the leg too backward. So if there is a line to make, it's going to be in the wrong direction. The other way at home to know if your saddle is too downhill is if you feel like you have more contact with your knees on the saddle than with your lower leg on the horse. Because basically, because you're being thrown forward, you're trying to hold on to whatever is there, which is your knee against the saddle like this. If you open up your hips and engage your hips, your knees are not supposed to have too much contact with the leg. So John makes it look good because he's a very good rider. I promise you that sometimes I can see riders that are being thrown forward even more, but don't force it. This is awesome.
Now you can really feel the difference. You feel much less secure here.
I mean, imagine yourself on the cross country coming down to a combination like this. I promise you it's
No thanks.
not fun. And so, you know, we talk about seat sizing and things like this. I'm sure John in the past has ridden in saddles that were too small for him, but if they were in the good balance, it's not as bad as a bad feeling as this one. This is worse than a saddle that is too small or too big. If you have the right balance, you've done 70% of your saddle. John, am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. I've actually, interestingly enough, ridden in Jen's saddles a bunch.
Yeah,
And it's not a problem because they're fit to the horse as well.
exactly, yeah.
But then I've also gone to do clinics where you get in a saddle that isn't balanced on a horse from time to time, and that is quite tough.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, thank you.
Awesome.
Before we get into the dressage positioning, just show a little bit my brand and Forestier. So this is how we work. Obviously, if you see a Velcro saddle, it doesn't mean that we sell Velcro saddle. It's only for the trials. But all in all, we have 34 different blocks that we're able to change the positioning of the block. Everybody has a different hip angle, so it depends on every rider what block you're gonna like and in which position. But don't be scared, we don't sell Velcro saddles. They are always stitched in. So,
But they are really cool because you can, when you're trying them, just try all the different options.
exactly, and they don't move.
Right.
But yeah, it's nice to be trying them at the time.
Absolutely.
So in dressage, we're going to see two types of positions. So in eventing, the most common one is to try to have what John is having right now, which is shoulders, hips, and heels on a straight line, and again, perpendicular to the floor, which means that you're going to be able to move forward with your horse, follow the movement, and not put too much pressure in the back of his back, which for eventers is not always the strongest part because we ask them to go forward on the cross country and then come back and compact on the dressage. So this is what we are looking for when we do a dressage saddle, as far as balance. Hey John, you need to teach me some, huh? I didn't have that position when I was riding.
The saddle helps.
Okay. So yeah, we can see here that the hips are moving forward, following the movement of the horse. The legs are not too forward, neither too backwards. Yeah, this is a great balance. I'm lucky to have a good rider today.
I feel like I'm right at home.
One thing I'm going to show today, so if you want to go back to walk, I'm just going to modify the positioning of the block a little. Because sometimes people ask me, oh, I want to be more held by the block, more held. And so what we end up doing is to block the knee. And even if it's a very small adjustment, I'm talking about, again, ½ an inch difference in the angle of the block, that's going to affect the riding quite a lot. Let's see it.
All right.
So as you can see, I moved the blocks backwards, and now the hips are struggling to function as well as before. Because if the knee is not forward, it means that the hips will struggle to move forward with the horse. Again, John is making it look nice.
But I'll tell you what, my low back suddenly is tight.
Exactly.
Right there.
Because you're stuck in your hips, yeah.
Yeah.
So always be careful when you try a dressage saddle. You're not looking for a saddle to block you. You want to be held, not blocked. So positioning of the block can impact your hip angle and impact your mobility. Be careful of that. Super.
All right.
The last position I want to show is a position that can work in dressage. If you look at Edouard Gall riding Totilas in his best years, he wasn't always super straight. Sometimes he had his hips in the back, legs forward, but he had a horse that could handle it. The horse was really strong in the back, and he was doing that to sit him up even more, bring the shoulders up, and have even better of an extended trot, whether he needed it or not. But that's his riding, and it works, and he's a world champion. When you look at Karl Hesse riding, he's way more straight. Sometimes I don't even know how he's supple enough to be that straight.
Right.
But he's amazing at that. The two ridings can work. The only thing I want to say is that for Edouard Gall, for example, he has the horses that can take it. Would we put that position of being slightly more back, leg a bit forward, to sit them up a bit more on the thoroughbred coming off the track? Not
No.
sure.
No.
So be careful on that. Yes, it's possible to have a different position, sitting a bit more back in your saddle, in a deeper seat maybe, just not on every horse. Be aware of that.
Right.
Super.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming out and showing us all this stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's super informative. And like, legitimately, from my point of view, I came into this thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and do this for the podcast and it'll be cool, but actually really interesting to feel the difference is just that little 10 millimeter, which to me just proves all the more how valuable it is to have a good saddle fitter. It almost, the saddle is super important, but the person fitting the saddle is more
I always
important.
say, you know, I would lie if I said we are the only good saddle maker in the country.
No, you
we
are.
are not. I hope we are good saddle makers, but the leather is good, we have good materials, but in the end what matters is the eye in front of you saying, okay, this is what we need, this is what you need. So there are some really good brands out there. Make sure that you have the right person in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And just my personal plug there would be, I choose the companies that I work with, and the John and Rick Show chooses the companies that we work with because we believe in them. So to everybody out there watching, like, I'm in this saddle because I think it's the best in the world, supported by the best team in the world.
Thank you so much.
So we appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody.
Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
Equibrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
Equibrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order Equibrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
Jump for Joy fences are easy to move, lightweight, durable, and low maintenance. So we're out here on the cross country. We just finished over in the show jumping over the Jump for Joy fences. Had a great time schooling over them. They're really nice and easy to move, so we were able to adjust some things and really have the exact school that we needed thanks to the Jump for Joy fences. I love them. Order yours at jumpforjoyusa.com. Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
Hi, my name's Leslie Law, and we are a proud supporter of Jump for Joy. We've been using their portable cross-country jumps now for about 10 to 15 years. We love these jumps because, as you can see, they're very easy to move. It would only take another person on the other side, and I could place this fence wherever I wanted to very easily.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are in the Jump for Joy studio, and we have with us Cornelia Fletcher. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And we are in the Equibrew segment, and this is Equibrew. Now, I forgot to put my order in, which is a problem because you're
I could
here.
have brought your bottles.
Yes, but this is proof that I use it,
That is proof.
and I only have like a day or two left.
So Cornelia, actually,
Yeah, I have never heard of this.
Yeah, Daytona Beach might do really well on this.
How have you not heard of this? Because we advertise on our podcast
Okay,
all the
fair.
time.
I might have heard of it, but I actually have never.
It's
That's
a live
cool.
probiotic that really
Yeah.
helps the gut microbes.
There you go.
Yeah.
So now this will be the second one that I do on the show. We're going to let you be a sponsored rider for a bit.
Cool, thank you.
And
We'll
it's
give it a try.
Specifically for that little mare ears.
Huh? And you give it in their feed, or?
Yeah, they love it. And the microbes come in, they gel with the gut microbes, and they really start to take out the bad stuff and bring in the good stuff.
How cool.
Yeah, really good for their gut health.
It's great stuff. My mare loves it, so I'm sure Daytona Beach is going
There
to
we
love
go,
it.
everybody. You heard it here. Daytona Beach 8 is going to be on it.
That's right. That's right.
So let's get going with Cornelia.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of good news for Cornelia going on.
Yes. So first of all, most importantly, we have Sparrow, which is awesome.
We do.
I've seen her at the horse shows, but today was the first time I actually got to see her up close. She is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Looks way more like you than Jacob, which is awesome.
He says all the time, he says she's blessed with his looks, so.
I actually, funny enough,
I can see that.
Yeah.
I saw him, I think it was at TerraNova, and I said, oh, thank God she looks like Cornelia. And he was legit offended.
I bet he was.
He was
Yeah.
really upset. And I was like, I was joking. She is a baby. She looks like a baby.
She looks like herself, yeah.
Looks like a sweet sparrow.
But now that I know it upsets him, I'm going to say it a lot.
Yeah, I support that.
How is motherhood?
It's good. It's good. It's hard. I have
never
a whole
easy.
New respect for every mother out there, but
So she's pretty easy though, correct? For you.
Yeah.
And Jacob, do you think that she cries a lot? Does she not cry a lot? Does she go to sleep on time? Does she need her milk? Does she colicky?
she was colicky in the beginning, but for a short amount of time. But now the thing we're going through is that she won't sleep unless it's with me.
Well,
That happens.
Yeah, so that's hard because then I kind of live on like a 2-hour time window because that's how long she's awake for.
Right.
And then every 2 hours she's like, okay, it's nap time.
right.
And she's almost 6 months. It's going to
Yeah.
start changing. Have you purchased that little swing, the independent swing?
Oh,
that she can sit in?
yeah. Maybe it's time to
Oh,
pull
yeah,
it
we
out.
called that baby crack in our house.
Baby crack.
Oh,
Put
my
him in it,
gosh.
and he was like, oh.
You put them in it. It's like because you can put them in it, and you can strap them all in, and then you can lay there and watch, and it's like.
But you have
Yeah.
one, and you don't think it's as good.
I don't
haven't
think we've
used
used
it
it. Yeah,
Oh, I'm
we need to
telling
pull
you.
it out.
Oh,
Baby
you gotta-
saver.
You got to get
Yeah.
it.
Well, actually, mom saver.
Mom saver, yeah.
It really does work.
Yeah.
The other thing, the last ditch effort is getting up in the middle of the night and getting in the car, putting him in the car seat, and go drive around.
Driving around.
Right.
That's last ditch effort.
Yeah.
But yeah, so y'all are do great. You both look like you're very in tune with what you're doing, so that's great.
Thank you.
And I saw Jacob all week at the big
Dad
event
extraordinaire,
that you
yeah.
were, TerraNova. So we're going to transition to TerraNova.
Yeah, let's do it. So I have to say, I only got to watch a little bit of the cross country, like in person, and I wasn't sure it was you at first, and then I saw her gallop across in front of the ring, and I was like, there's nothing that gallops like that. She was unreal.
Unreal. She is an amazing mare.
Yeah, it's so cool. So we should probably just walk through the weekend, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we all know the dressage is not her favorite of the 3 phases.
No.
So how was the test? How was the lead up to it? What were you kind of thinking going in?
You can sort of tell what kind of mood she's in when you get there. Like at Kentucky, she was awful all week from the moment we got there. And at TerraNova, it was going to go either way. And so I sort of decided to just leave her alone. And I didn't pre-ride her. I didn't really mess with her. We did as little as we could. And she actually tried really hard in the ring. She didn't do anything. Like for her, did a clean test. And
Right.
that was
And the long
great.
was in the ring on the right?
The lakeside.
Oh, is it lakeside?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you're in the same one the foreshort was in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
So-
gotcha. Because that ring can get spooky.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Well,
So
especially
what-
if it's windy. Were you on the windy day?
I don't think so.
No, she
I think
was
it was
on the non-windy day.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Those flags get
Oh my
wicked.
gosh, they're so loud. Yeah.
What did you score?
A 41 something.
I mean, she goes anywhere from 35 to 42
Yeah,
your
I would say
window?
42 is an average. Yeah.
coming in there. I mean,
Yeah.
hey,
I was a little better than average for her, or than normal for her, so I was
Right.
hoping to sneak into the 30s, but I'll take
and
it.
the tension comes in the trot work or canter work?
The whole thing. Yeah. The whole thing.
So is it something particular that sets her off, or is she just naturally tense?
It's just, no, she's not naturally tense. That's what's so weird about her, because if anybody rode her at home, she would be the loveliest, softest, most flexible horse.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think it's just PTSD. It's like the whole thing. Once you leave, because she's nice and warm up too. So you leave the warm up and it just like rattles her.
Got it.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried not doing warm up at all?
I don't warm up. Yeah, actually.
just go right in?
Yeah, basically. I used to just get on and go right in, and now I've sort of modified it to like 5-10 minutes.
Right.
And if I only canter on one lead, then that's all I get done.
Yeah.
Right.
Just go.
Makes sense. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, and what a useful, amazing horse.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
and to your credit, I think at some point you would get to the place, and correct me if I'm wrong, where you're like, why torture her?
Mm-hmm.
She's so good at everything else she does. Just put in the
on.
best you can and move on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes all
And
the
it's
sense in the
paid
world.
off.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, what were you at Burley last year?
10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
10th at Burley. So then let's move into the cross country. Was this your first Alec Lahore cross country?
I did Houghton over in
Okay.
England, and I'm 90% sure he did that as well.
Okay.
But yeah, it was, I mean, the one thing that's caught us out was the coffin at Kentucky, and I lost sleep about that coffin at
Fair
TerraNova.
enough.
So that was intense.
So tell everybody about the coffin, and we kind of talked about it the show before.
Excuse me.
Yep.
But there was two. There was a 4-star
Yep.
and a 3-star. Mm-hmm. And the 4-star was like,
So old-fashioned, almost
Yep.
like a slide.
Yeah, and nothing flat at the bottom.
No, yeah, nothing. And then the footing was going to shift no matter what they did to it, which
Right.
for the careful horses is always another piece.
and so were you a part of anybody saying your concerns about the
No,
about
I didn't. I mean, I made a comment about the footing,
Yep.
but I was just gonna
Go with the
go
flow.
with it. But yeah, I was relieved to. I think the 3-star coffin was hard enough, and I'm
Right.
impressed that the more 3-star horses, like,
Right. Well,
because that was hard equally as hard for the 3-star level as it would have been for the 4-star level.
absolutely.
Sure, and I
Yeah.
think the funny thing is we did talk about this is the 4 long horses had more trouble with that coffin
Yep.
than the 3 long.
Yeah, which is so interesting to.
So
Yeah.
you got it. Take us through it.
So what was your strategy for the coffin specifically? Because I saw people
Yeah.
go, and I mean, what I saw was people, they jumped that table and then like almost put their foot on the gas and just ran at the coffin, which did
that
not
work out?
seem to work great.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did.
But I saw horse after rider do it and not
Yeah.
work. So I'm sort of curious. You were good.
Yeah.
What was the strategy?
Jacob, credit to Jacob, because previously I probably would have just floored it.
Right.
But I actually, them moving the table the way they did let me break the line up so I could land and still go forward. And then I really took back until I saw my distance, and then I rode into it. But
Then
I
you
made
went
sure
pedal
I had
down.
a distance.
Right.
Yeah. Because if I just ran her into it and took whatever distance, it wasn't going to work
Right.
out. So it had to be
and she
accurate.
navigated through it
She did, yeah. I got a little scrubby, but she did, yeah.
Anything else on the course that really made you sit up and go, wow? Or did you just take the course in stride, and how did it unfold for you?
It rode really nicely. The bounce into water was the other thing because you just don't see that often. It's getting more popular again,
Yeah.
but that was nicely set up a hill actually and rode well. And actually the stuff in the back that was new, yeah,
big mountain.
yeah.
Mount Mayaka?
It almost gives
Mount
you,
Mayaka, yeah.
It kind of gave you leaf pit vibes
Right.
early when you walk up.
Because
to
it was a pretty steep drop.
yeah.
But it seemed like everybody rode it pretty well.
Yeah, it did. I thought that they were going to get to the top and lose their breath a little more than they did, so that surprised me. But
And how were you? What was it? What was the minutes on that? 11 and a half?
10 and a half, 10:28, I think. Yeah.
So how
long
was
enough.
her fitness for that?
I think it was pretty good, to be honest. I think if it was a minute and a half longer, like at a 5-star, she would have been probably too tired.
Right.
But I think for the lighter spring she had, and she was
Yeah.
pretty good.
So talk about, even we're transition from the cross country, but you had a baby.
Yeah.
Like not even 6 months ago.
Yeah.
So here you are winning a 4-star when you were like, that was in November.
Right.
So your husband helped you out with her while you were
Yeah.
having the baby?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm full disclosure, I did tell him several times that he should probably get you pregnant again immediately
I think a few people have said
so that he could keep riding her.
That's funny. No.
Yeah, no.
He actually said she would kill me. So.
Yeah, I would.
So he helped you keep her going, and
Yep.
then you had the baby and pretty much got right back in the saddle,
Yeah,
right?
2.5 weeks later,
Good.
just to sort of prove it to myself.
Right, sure.
And then I eased off for a sec and then was full steam ahead again.
So was it that hard, or were you just like, oh, okay, it's going to be okay?
I think deciding to be smart and do a 4-star instead of trying to be stupid and do a 5-star took a lot of pressure off me.
Right.
And then I just kept taking pressure off. Like I only took 1 horse to Terranova instead of 2.
Right.
And so I just kept sort of adjusting and prioritizing.
That's important.
Yeah.
That's probably like a good life lesson anyway,
Maybe.
even without a baby.
Yeah.
And then my next question, before we get to the show jump, because she's an incredible show jumper too, is do you ever hear that people, when they have babies, they all of a sudden have this instinct to look, oh my gosh, did you...
It changes that.
Right. Did you feel a little bit of that? Or were you just like, okay, I feel the same?
I surprised myself because I didn't feel as rusty as I thought I would, but I was almost like this psychological war I was in with myself where I was like, I should feel rustier than I do.
Right.
And so I had to, it was almost like my brain was trying to convince me of something that wasn't the case. I do think I can tend to be, in previous lives, maybe a little bit too bold cross country. So I think
In previous lives.
it'll make me
leveled
more
you out.
careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just take a second and I just ride more accurately instead of just balls to the wall.
I think that's a good T-shirt. Take a little bit more.
It's a very long T-shirt.
Balls to the wall. So take us through. You come in double clear.
Yeah, right on the time, I think. Yeah.
Where were you after cross country?
4th or 3rd or 4th, maybe.
Before cross country.
Oh, before cross country.
You were
2nd to last.
Okay,
I
and
think.
then you moved up to 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
Thank God for that coffin.
Yeah, right. That really did. They thought it was on our side.
So take us through the jog in the morning. Everything's good.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Good.
Nothing
Then
too-
No gators.
No gators. Yeah.
Perfect. For those who don't know, it's next to the pond, and there are 2 alligators that live in the pond.
And they're
big
very
one-
proud of
Yeah.
them.
Yes.
They are proud.
Yeah.
They go back and forth. They say that through the Mayaka River, but they do come in there.
Yeah.
Show jump.
Yeah.
Did show jumper help us out? What happened?
So she was more tired. She felt different to me in the show jumping warm-up than I thought she would. And I had a moment where I was like, woo. And Mike Huber has been helping me, and he's been great with the mindset stuff. And,
Right.
And he was like, you have a job to do? And he pretty much was like, pull your shit together.
Right.
And I just jumped like 4 jumps.
Right.
And I said, she knows what she needs to know. And so I sort of just winged it.
Wunged it.
Wunged it.
But I think that's such a good lesson, really, for anybody, even at the horse trials. Like, it is warm up. It's not practice.
Right.
So you're supposed to get them ready.
Yep.
And
And
then
go.
be confident to
Not
go.
22 jumps
Exactly.
in the warm-up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, very good. And double clear.
Yeah.
Then you
Yeah.
moved up to first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
The stars aligned. I never would have imagined that they would have, but I'll take it.
No, it was good because I remember we were trying to find out what's going on, and we're moving around. When I saw you won, I was like, yeah, she won.
It was great. I was there watching ringside. It was so good to watch. It was such a beautiful round.
Thank you.
I mean,
Yeah.
just classy. It was really, really good. So
She's-
well done.
Yeah. It is so cool to think about knowing each other like we do now.
Right.
Because
Well-
I remember the moment. I remember when we didn't know each other. you know?
Right,
Yeah.
because there is a story, I think we've talked about it before, because there was a point in time that you were going to sell her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Absolutely.
So tell people how you made the decision not to and who talked you out of it.
So many people talked me out of it. I think the wiser old men in the sport, or old ladies, old men, they saw the benefit in having a horse to run around the
Right.
bigger tracks on. And if I could learn to be mature enough to let the dressage go or find a way to make it work, that it would be invaluable lessons.
And look at that, the other thing that just happened.
Yeah.
You made a list.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See?
Congratulations.
So right in the last
Beach.
minute.
Hey.
8.
They
So
wait
you
for that event to be over for a reason.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can make lists with a dressage score averaging at 40, so that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. I mean, the mare is
Well,
absolutely amazing.
and to that point, it's not just because you can do it because you have an average of 40. It's because you actually also contributed very well to a Nations Cup medal on her, right? And
Yeah.
we haven't talked about that yet. But that's
Talk about it.
that's awesome because it's not like you went and you were there and like, oh yeah, I participated. Like you were the accounting score,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
Thank
where was
you.
that?
Yeah. That was back in 2022 now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And she had another 41, and then she was 1 second
Which
over.
Nations
But
Cup?
Houghton.
Houghton. Okay.
Yep. In
Oh,
England.
Where were you said Alec?
Alec, yes, it
Okay.
was his, I believe, his course. And yeah, and she got another 41 and then double clear.
Right. And
Yeah.
my point is horses like that can jump around big tracks clean and fast and then go in and show jump well in the next day are invaluable. And I just think we discount as a sport, not you,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we discount as a sport those horses that struggle in the dressage and you can't win and you
Well,
know
we certainly didn't used to.
no, but we do now.
now.
And
Yeah,
I think
Because your horse
it's
in
wrong.
the past would have been the #1 horse on any list.
Right.
Right?
Back with roads and tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still, 10th at Burley, you won a 4-star, silver medal at the Nations Cup.
Yeah.
It's such a good, and it's not like as I say this, I don't mean like it's a useful horse, like, oh, it's so good for you, you get miles
more
on
than
it.
useful.
It's more than useful. It's a,
Yeah, she's made dreams come true.
Yeah.
yes, it's amazing. And I think I just say it because to that point, like you say it right, she's made dreams come true. It's great. And I think it's, people almost discount it like, oh yeah, no, it's so good. She's like such a good horse, goes out there and gets to
Practice
jump around.
horse.
It's not a
Yeah.
practice horse.
Yeah, she's-
It's a proper horse. So with that said, what are the plans for next spring?
So she's.
What? Did I skip ahead?
Now I can hear Sparrow.
I know she's crying.
Yeah, I know. We'll give you a minute. We're almost done and we'll let you go be mom.
So she's gonna have a little bit of a light first half of next year because she's getting older, and then we'll do
What is her age?
15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think one big event a year might be
Yep.
That's a
smart.
good plan.
So something in the fall.
Got
We'll
it.
see.
Something big and 5-ish in the
Yeah.
fall.
I wouldn't mind doing the. I'll definitely apply for the development tour.
Right.
Some more 4 shorts and stuff in the spring.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Awesome. Well, let's take a break.
Yep.
We'll let you go tend to Sparrow, and then we'll
Poor
come
girl.
back and we can talk about what your first impressions of me were years ago.
Okay. Great.
So thank you to Equibrew for sponsoring this segment. We will be right back with Cornelia Fletcher.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Reset, reboot, rebuild, restore. Experience the transformative power of our formulas you can trust. Elevate your horse's well-being from the inside out with Parkmore supplements. European designed, American manufactured, and Kentucky Proud certified. Parkmore's Devil's Own Detox, nature's own binding agent, cleansing your horse's system. Now available for your canine kids too. Say goodbye to unwanted elements and hello to vitality. Parkmore Special Vitamin Mineral Supplement, a micronutrient powerhouse. No fillers, just 4 ounces a day for a 5-star eventer to thrive. Because excellence deserves exceptional nutrition. Parkmore GLF Immuno Booster. Unleash the magic gold, the #1 building block for cell replication. Elevate wellness and recovery for your horses and dogs, whether after training, travel, competition, or during periods of injury, illness, or surgery. Parkmore HI Oil Infusion. Customize your blends of herbs and spices to naturally combat inflammation, bacteria, and restore gut flora. Elevate your horses and dogs' appetite naturally. Expert guidance awaits. For more information, schedule an online, telephone, or on-site consultation with Fleur or one of our dedicated team members. Visit parkmoresupplements.com
or text at 502-265-8345 to elevate your companion's well-being today. Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rich Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are in the Jump for Joy studio, still with Mother Cornelia.
Mother Cornelia.
Like Mother Teresa.
I know, right?
Yeah,
Sparrow.
just like that.
Sparrow,
Yeah.
we can see Sparrow right outside the window, and she's waving with her dad. So, motherhood
Motherhood.
doesn't ever stop now,
No.
just so you know.
Yeah.
Just for those watching, poor Cornelia in between segments had to go out, deal with her husband, and then help her child, and then got puked on.
Yep.
Changed Sparrow's clothes, wiped the vomit from her pants, and came back on, and you look beautiful.
It's still,
Yeah, no, you look great. You look great.
And here we are.
Here
Yeah.
we are.
So, and that kind of led us back into when we were off camera talking about John has what we call a RBF,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I didn't know this. I always thought I was very approachable and super nice, which honestly, now that people have told me this, it makes a lot of sense for how I was treated in high school, because a lot of people in high school didn't like me, and I was like, people are mean, but maybe
Maybe it was you.
it was me all these years.
So tell us about your experience with that.
Well, I have this one really vivid memory. I was doing my first advance, and my dad drove me out in my little bumper pull out to Richland, and I was in the warm-up of cross country, probably doing a really bad job, and John must have been standing there coaching someone, standing in the middle like this, with his arms crossed, like watching me. I could have sworn he didn't have a student in the warm-up. Watching me like this, but just nothing. And I was like, man, he really must not like me. And I was like, I know, because other young riders were like, oh, she's spoiled, she has a really nice horse. And I was like, maybe that's, that's a common thought.
What's that horse? What was the
Lewis.
Wow. Yeah. So John, why would you like that to Cornelia?
Yeah.
That could almost...
And it wasn't the only time. It was just the one that's burned into my memory.
So, first of all, I'm sorry. Yeah. Second of all, which maybe makes the story even worse, I don't actually remember that.
Yeah.
Which is worse. I think, honestly, I'm incredibly insecure, and so I probably was just trying to sit there and just keep my mouth shut and not look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And
how long ago was that?
2017, maybe?
Wow, that's not
When
that.
it was
It
Richland's
had to be longer
last,
than that.
Oh,
It was Richland's last event.
last year was...
What was that?
What year was that?
Come on, you're stat boy.
2017. Yeah, I think you're right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
so
were all there, and I saw you doing it. So. You shouldn't do that. And
such
that's
a
why
jerk.
we have on the clicker, no RBF, John.
Yeah, it says RBF MFer. Yeah. So here's what I want to say officially and in front of the world. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I did not intend to be rude and make you think that I hated you. I probably, to be honest, was watching you and super jealous, like, wow, she's doing such a good job. I wish that I rode so well. So
There you go.
There we go.
So it's always from a place sincerely of being insecure and feeling less than.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now don't you feel bad?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
she doesn't feel
no,
bad
I
at all.
do.
Yeah, you should feel
I
bad,
do.
bitch.
Yeah.
Well, take us now back. All right. So you just said something about 2025 and your plans to apply for the European tour.
Yep.
Right. Everybody out there, as a rider that wants to be considered for things, let people know out there what you got to do. Because some people just think, oh, they call you and you're going to go somewhere. But no, you've got to do things.
Yeah, you have to apply for everything. I remember the first year I was on the under 25. So I was never, back when they had the U18s and then U25s,
Right.
I was never doing enough for the U18s. And then I was at Sharon's and had done Young Riders once, I think. And she
That's
was
Sharon White.
Sharon White, yep. And she was like, just apply for it, because you have to fill out this application. It's essay format. And And she was like, you never know. The worst they're going to say is no.
Right.
And I, applied for it, and they talent spotted you on because I hadn't met the qualifications.
Sure.
And I remember it was wild. It was like, yeah, now I know. You
Right.
apply for things and you put yourself out there, and you apply for grants and you don't get it.
Right.
It's okay. But
And that's the main thing. I think a lot of people don't realize that if you go onto the USEF dashboard, there's an athlete dashboard. You click on that, and then there's applications. You do searches, and then you look at the qualifications, and then you apply.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so having been, and this is just sort of to validate that, having been on some of the calls and meetings where that stuff gets discussed, you do somewhat regularly get people where you're like, wait, but who's that?
yeah.
And then and then their name sticks in your head, and then you do pay attention.
Right.
And then next time their name comes up, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I remember this person. I watched them ride.
Right.
And you start focusing on that stuff. So
It's just more getting yourself out there.
totally.
Yeah.
Right.
And being brave enough to do it and be like, yeah, no, I am good enough to do this. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And keep beating on the door until they let you in.
Yeah.
Which
exactly.
is good. So you're so you did the application. You're going to do that for 2025.
Yep.
You don't know what 5-star you're aiming for
No,
right now?
I haven't
You ha-
decided.
Well,
yeah.
there's only so many in the fall.
I know.
There's Burley.
Don't
and
jinx
there's
it, Rick.
Maryland.
Yeah. Well, I love Maryland and I love Burley, but I might want to leave Burley as is. But I've never done Poe.
Right?
Oh.
You know what I
Oh,
mean?
wee wee.
one.
Yeah.
Get a baguette.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little
Some
French.
brie.
Look at us. We all go, oh.
Pyrenees, yeah.
Oh, maybe you should
So-
go there and then we could go and watch.
Yeah. Hopefully it's better weather than
Yeah,
this
because
past
pretty
year.
soon we're going to do the traveling Rick and John show.
Oh, that's
Oh,
fun.
John and Rick
Oh,
show.
as we travel, it'll be Rick and John. That's
The Rick-
He doesn't like to travel.
That's true. It'll be Rick and John's at home show.
John's zooming in.
Right.
That's amazing.
Skyping in.
So lead up, again, a lot of people don't realize and think his little mare is the same way we pick and choose.
Yes.
And you, like literally for doing the 4 short, she did 1 prelim in the fall.
Exactly.
That was it?
Yeah.
And then you go.
Yep.
Because you know that she's going to do her job,
Yes.
right? And you
Yep.
don't have to run her off her feet.
Exactly.
So the spring, let's just say you apply for the European Tour. What is your focus in the spring? 2 or 3 or 1 or 2?
Yeah,
Or-
1 or 2.
Yeah.
I think the European Tour, development tour is June, July maybe. So I might not do much more than an intermediate before
Makes
that.
sense.
And then those are 4 shorts, and then it slows down over the summer anyway.
What do you do with her at home then?
She does she flats for a long time. I do ride her for like 45, 50 minutes on the flat, and she jumps once every 7 to 10 days and
Right.
trots. And I didn't do any aqua treading, but I actually really believe in that, so we'll go back to that.
Right. One,
Yeah.
to be fair, for TerraNova being on the flat ground,
Right.
probably didn't have to do
Do
it.
a little less.
So it is December 9th. She ran her
A month ago.
a month ago. So
Oh, yeah. Almost.
is that right?
A little less than a month.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
The 15th, I think, is a month ago because mine were there too. So what is she doing right now today?
On vacation.
Thank you.
Yes. She's on vacation.
I've had this, and I say that because I've had this talk with a bunch of my students. I'm like, you guys need to give them a break.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
And, well-
mentally, even more, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about that. Some horses can't take vacations.
Oh, that's
Correct, but they probably don't need to be like
No, they don't
working.
need-
Drilled.
And so what he does, he goes out and does road work.
Yes.
He walks for
Yeah.
an hour and a half. And
100%, all on board with that.
Or-
They don't have to be
or hacking
in the work
back.
in the
No,
rig
there's
working.
There's no
Right.
Yeah.
drilling, but you just because some horses are like that. Some are good at vacations.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I also find which is interesting with Daytona because that's her barn name too, isn't
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
They
Sometimes
call her,
as they
call her 8.
8 ball. What?
That has negative connotations.
Yes, no, for sure it does. That's why I said it. It was funny. I'm laughing. I'm trying to be a better person and smile more.
Yeah.
No, sometimes as the horses get older, they actually do vacation less, right? So that's interesting. But she's such a thoroughbred type. What is she? She's not thoroughbred.
No, she's like 70% thoroughbred.
Okay,
She
so
has
she
an
is.
Oldenburg brand, but
Which
know.
is anything.
yes.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So she's thoroughbred.
And how's she 8? How is she
I
8?
don't know.
I told you.
8 ball.
No.
No, there's 7 before her.
There's 7
Yeah,
before that were called
there
Daytona.
There must be, because she does have a grandmother named Daytona Beach.
Yeah.
So there must be something like that.
Okay.
Or she was the 8th foal of the year. Or...
I'm pretty sure, and I could
Yeah,
be wrong.
there are
And I
some.
only say this because of horses I've had. And I was telling Rick I had one named Lion King, but he was actually Lion King 2.
Because when
he
you put
was
in their app,
when you put it in, there was already a
registration,
Lion King.
There's already a Lion
Okay.
King, so they put a number behind
Yeah,
it.
that
Correct.
makes sense.
And I think it has to be like active horses with that name. That are
So each year when they become deactive, it can be, she might be
She might be
Daytona
7.
She could be 7 next year.
and then maybe 6.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I said. I don't know.
No, it's
The
kind of
reality
what
is
you
I have
said.
no
It's
idea. I
what
was
you
trying to
said.
sound smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So, vacation, then she starts back and you do your work, you get her ready, run an intermediate, and we're going to say you're going on the tour.
Fingers crossed.
So what about Sparrow? Does Sparrow get to travel with you?
yeah,
What's going to happen? Talk about motherhood now.
Yeah, that's a whole other level. We have to go and get her a passport.
Right.
For sure.
Have you
so
started
fun.
that?
No, we haven't.
Probably should.
I know. But that's another thing getting Jacob on board with. It's a lot for
His little
Yeah.
brain.
for the brain. Yeah.
We'll get him there.
Yeah.
I wish he
But
was in here.
he seems to really like fatherhood.
Oh yeah, no, he was born for it for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
people are born for it. It's true. And so he would. What about his riding? What's he doing?
Yeah,
now?
so we actually were just saying we need to sit down because he's show jumping more than eventing
Right.
right now, and so we need to sit down and
do your plan.
yeah, so that we're not both trying to go to the same place
Right.
the same week.
Right.
Yeah.
And childcare, is it just you and him?
No, well, we thought naively that it could just be him and I for a while. And it was for like 6, 7, 8 weeks. And then his mom actually was like, I think you might need help. So we do have a nanny now that comes from 8 to 2 during the weekdays. And I just go ride during that time.
Well, that's perfect. It's a perfect time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't say anything, but y'all are so active in doing the things that you do.
Yeah.
We had the exact same thing. We had a Bronwyn came and she was here
Bronwyn.
from
I love her.
she was here from like 8 till 2ish. And if Caden got hungry, Jen would get a text, "Mommy, I'm hungry," and she would go into the house and take care of Caden, and then back out riding and teaching.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you just
She
just go.
She breastfed.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever it would have been, like it didn't matter. It was just like if she needed us, she was here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we went and dealt with
Well,
it, and
good
then
for
away
you.
you go.
'Cause you need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta.
She doesn't travel, so like at horse shows, it's just him and I. And
Right.
but it is very helpful.
But at TerraNova, he did a great job.
He did, yeah. We had a moment.
What was the moment?
Well, Sparrow was doing that thing where she only wanted to nap on me, and
Right.
I needed to go ride or something. It was like before the trot up, like
Right.
it was very early in the week on Tuesday or Wednesday, and she wasn't sleeping, but she only wanted to be on me. And I was like in the bedroom of the camper with the door shut, and Jacob, I could hear him. He's drinking a beer, eating chips, watching TV, and I slide open the camper door. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you! And I was like, you have to.
What? I'm drinking my beer.
I'm having a great time.
He was like, oh my god, like.
That's great.
And then he heard me. He said, okay, no problem.
And then he kicked into gear.
Yeah, then he figured out the front pack and put her in there and walked around until she fell asleep 3 times a day.
Good job, Dad.
I did see him pushing the stroller and
Yeah.
where the campers were. He would go along the tree line because it was kind of like a sand thing. And I saw him, he was pushing. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm just going this route. I was like, it was so funny because y'all were a little bit further down from us.
Yeah.
Well, you'll figure that out.
Yeah.
And she'll probably be a traveling
love
girl.
she'll get
France.
the hang of it. Yeah. Who doesn't?
That'd be great.
Exactly.
I mean, once they kick in, and do you want her to ride?
I would love for her to, but I'm only going to encourage it if she asks.
Yeah, that's how you do it. I mean, Elisa, there was no question. She was on
From
a
the
horse
beginning.
at 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like very
I
fast.
forced Caden to ride because I wanted him to do
And he
something.
hated it.
And he
Exactly.
didn't. He actually was pretty natural at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted him to like, I knew he was going to have to go to the horse show, so I'm like, you should do this.
Yeah.
And he was pretty good at it, but no interest.
Well, it's interesting because we talk
It
about.
goes either way.
There's a lot of families out there like Riley Carter.
Yep.
She didn't really ride at first.
Right, now
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
right
she
into
is,
it.
yeah.
I just saw her. She's riding really
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
And she was a runner, track, and all this stuff. And then I see her riding. I think they take different cycles, and you just. I think to your point, you just kind of go, well, what do you want to do?
You know what the
They
nice
let
thing
you
is
know.
if they don't ride though?
what?
You don't have to buy them horses.
Oh, I know.
You don't have to
Have
give
the
them your
nicest
farm
tennis racket.
when you
But
retire.
Yeah.
You do have to buy a shotgun because boys come around and they kind of care more about boys if they don't have a
That's
pony.
a very good point.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's
But to your point about you could have the nicest tennis racket.
Yeah.
Real quick story. Caden was probably like, I don't know, 11 or 12. He's in Little League. And it's the first day of practice and the parents are complaining because we got here and they changed the rules again this year and we have to get a new bat. And he wore out his glove from last year. This sport's so expensive and I couldn't help myself. I looked at them and I'm like, I get it and I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I could buy my son a new bat and glove every single game.
Yeah.
And I'd be
Because
so
he
much
doesn't ride.
I'd be so much further ahead than if he rode a horse.
Yeah.
So count
Yeah.
your blessings.
And then John did allude to the fact of another child.
Yeah, I know. If you ask Jacob, he says we're going to have like 5. We're not. Yeah, so don't ask Jacob.
I love that. Your family's in Massachusetts,
Yes.
right? And his family's in Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Do they come visit a lot?
Yes, they do. Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
Very
yeah, they
cool.
like alternate
That's
every
cool,
other horse show.
cool.
Yeah.
So what's the we're here at the holiday time. So what's the holiday plans? You guys staying in town? You going away? What are you doing?
So we went to Arkansas for Thanksgiving, and we'll go to Massachusetts
For Christmas. Perfect.
Yeah, we're
It's
gonna
actually
alternate.
nice to go to like where there's snow.
Exactly. Maybe a white Christmas.
Yeah.
You're so Floridian.
Whatever.
I grew up in white Christmases.
I did too. But
You know what the
it's
problem
fun
with
to
white
go-
Christmas?
It's fun
You know
to
what the
go
problem
to
with
them.
No, it's not. You know
Yes, it
why?
is.
Because they're cold.
But they're cozy.
Yeah, cozy. Get the fire.
Not when you're
Yeah,
cold.
and you have a warm drink.
I think we just
Yeah.
kick him out. Sorry.
the
He's
worst.
a party pooper on traveling and doing stuff. Actually, he'd be a good nanny for y'all.
Yeah, you just.
I would
you
be a
stick
great
around.
nanny.
Yeah.
I would be a
She
great
smiled
nanny.
at you.
She did. She
And
did.
she's-
And then she cried.
Yeah.
That's usually what happens.
Well, I think that the future for 2025, when you and Jake work out your
Jake.
schedule, Jacob, I shorten it. 'cause
I like
I call
Jake.
him Jake too. Actually, I call him Jake.
See?
Yeah, perfect.
So
Done.
don't make fun of me when I call him Jake.
No, I like Jake actually.
Okay.
From State Farm.
So,
Safe
and
word.
people might be going, wait, we just heard he's just doing a lot of show jumping. Is he going to event anymore?
I think if anybody found him a really nice event horse,
Putting the
we
word
could
out.
all get him back into
Yeah,
it. Somebody
but right
could.
now he wants to do
Yeah.
the show jump.
Yeah.
Does he have some good show jumpers?
Yeah, he does actually. He has a good mare that he's done some meter 45s on.
Good.
And then I think he has some young horses that he wants to upcycle into a proper. Yeah.
Good. So he's going to do the WEC cycle.
That yeah, that's the
World
idea. I
Equestrian
think he'll do
Center.
more at hits.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
options, which
Yeah.
is good because you have a little lower key
Exactly.
hits.
Yeah.
And then you have the more.
Well, I want to come watch him at a Grand Prix at WEC on a Saturday night. So
Right?
That
That's what he wants to
Oh,
do.
it'd be so much fun.
eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Let's do
we
that.
watched Ben Taylor.
Right.
Yeah, right. I know. He's
We were at the Grand Prix. It was the CDI 3-star.
Mm-hmm.
It was cold as heck. But the horses out there, in fact, Marilyn Little was competing.
was she?
She was like 4th, I think.
Sweet.
So yeah, it's cool to have that in our back door.
Oh, yeah, it's
and then
amazing.
having options that hits and World Equestrian Center worked out this
yeah, a
this
good
thing,
yeah.
and I think it worked out great. So,
For sure.
John, are you going to be doing WEC or hits?
If I go anywhere, it'd probably be hits.
Yeah.
It's a little more affordable.
I think the shipping in is a little.
Yeah, it's a
easier.
little easier. I mean, I'd like to say I'm going to do both, but honestly, I actually do it more in like May, June, whenever they have that summer series.
Mm-hmm.
I end up at WEC more. It's
Because it's air conditioning.
well,
you're
and
inside.
well, no, it's like time wise in the winter when it's running here, it's so busy for me. It's hard
Yeah,
to get
it's
away.
hard.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult for sure.
Are you going to do any outside competitions with Daytona?
Show jumping?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah. Jacob did a national Grand Prix on her.
wow.
She was 4th. Actually, she would have won, but he had a rail in the jump off.
Yeah, because
Did you bring that up immediately?
Yeah. I
Good
said
job.
that was your rail. Just kidding.
By the way.
Yeah. So it'd be fun to do some of those on her
Good.
as well.
Well, that
We'll
would be
see.
fun.
Yeah.
Super.
Cool.
Well, I think it's going to be a fun 2025 for you.
Thank you.
And you're going to have a sweet little girl traveling to France. And she even has a really good French accent
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, we should probably let you go relieve your poor
Jacob's-
husband.
yeah,
He's
poor
going to
Jake.
have a stroke. I'm feeling bad for him out there. I don't know why. It's his kid too, but I feel badly.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
thanks so much.
Congratulations again, Super Mare. We love her, and we love watching you ride her. So we will keep our eyes open for you in 2025.
And I'm going to try to smile when I see you more often.
yeah.
I will do my best.
Well, all she's got to do now is just go.
Yeah.
Just fucking smile. Yeah. So thank you everybody for joining us for today's show. Thank you, Cornelia, for coming on. Thank you to Forestier. And of course, thank you to Horse Trailer Pros. You guys are awesome. If you need anything done with your horse trailers while you're in the Southeast, make sure you guys go check out Matt and his team over at Horse Trailer Pros. They will take care of you.
And if you need jumps, go Jump for Joy.
Jump for joy. So
And Equibrew.
oh yeah, right here. There it is.
I'll get some to you.
Yeah, I'd be super interested.
I can't believe you didn't bring my order.
You didn't ask for it.
That's
Do you make
100%.
it at home?
It's made in New Zealand.
Okay.
but
It's imported.
You're like
distribute it
the-
out of-
okay,
I'm the
okay.
distributor, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I could make that.
Briggs could probably come up with something, but it's much better this way. That's good stuff. So thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be back with a Christmas show soon. See you next time.
Yay.
We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.